Hello and welcome back to Ace Academy. I try to anticipate what kind of questions he'll ask about Eagle, so I can have the answers ready. Yuna said this wasn't an interview, but I still want to make a good impression. As I enter the cafe, I sweep my gaze across the room and spot a man wearing a Dasho jacket. That must be him. After ordering a cup of coffee, I walk over to greet him. Hello? The man faces me, and I'm surprised by how young he looks. He only seems to be a couple of years older than us. I'm Richard, the pilot for Eagle from Ace 2049-11. He smiles and gestures at the seat across from him, and I accept the seat.
Thanks for meeting me on such short notice. As I'm sure you know, I'm Yuri Ariev, your account manager with Dasho.
A waitress places our drinks on the table. Takes a sip from his drink and seems pleasantly surprised. Must be some good coffee.
I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I am curious about a few things.
About Eagle.
Eagle?
He looks genuinely confused. Guess my intel was correct.
No. About Hyperdrive.
Hyperdrive? That was the team I played for at CINY. Looks like Yuri did his homework on me. Sure, ask away. I might still be under their NDA. Be aware that I still have an active NDA with them. He nods.
Of course. I am more interested about the team and sponsorship dynamics in the West. I've researched that companies have official teams in the school rather than just sponsoring a different team from time to time.
I nod. That's right.
Hyperdrive is an S-ranked division team at CINY. That's quite the accomplishment. I can see why you transferred into Ace with a history like that.
Hard work paid off. Thank you. I practiced a lot, studied to make sure my application was strong from both sides. Yuri seems pleased by my answer.
What were your teammates like?
Hyperdrive had about 20 pilots on the team. I didn't know all of them well, but I made a few friends. Yuri takes another sip from his coffee.
Ah, yes. I've heard the official company teams tend to recruit purely from an efficiency and winning standpoint. There's even internal competition within the team to see who are the strongest pilots.
I nod.
Which means your solo rank must have been strong if you were the primary backup after the starting four.
Yeah, although I can't say everyone was pleased with the first year being a primary backup. Yuri chuckles.
I take it the more senior members of the team weren't pleased.
Yeah, because of that, most of the people I consider to be close were the other first years, but some of the seniors who are already on the starting lineup would help me train.
Sounds like there was a very split dynamic among the team, which is not surprising given how large it is. It's hard to foster close camaraderie when everyone competes for the same spots.
Yeah, there were definitely a lot of cliques that formed within the group. I tried to stay away from any of the drama and just focused on bringing up my rank.
How well do you think that model works compared to the model here?
I pause. The pressures are different, but I do believe that smaller teams make more efficient teams. You're more invested in your personal training and development, not because there's a looming pressure that someone is just a number away from replacing you, but because you are an important member of your team. Of course, you end up fostering closer relations with your teammates. But the whole sponsorship process here is incredibly imbalanced. Yuri nods understandingly. Honestly, I'm grateful you agreed to sponsor us. We were rejected a few times, and Yuna was really disappointed by how unwilling most companies were to consider us.
Your team at Ace is a little unique. Even though you guys are an S-ranked division team, because you're a new team with no history of performance, you're also considered high risk.
High risk?
Yeah, it's hard to gauge whether your team is a strong up-and-comer or if your entry into this division was a fluke. Most companies don't like that uncertainty.
Yeah. If that's the case, how come you decided to take that risk? He grins.
I know good talent when I see it. If I'd been too afraid to take risks, I never would have landed Yudai. When I signed him on, he was a new pilot but already showed so much potential.
He looks wistful.
What happened to him was tragic. The least I could do is to help his sister, especially after seeing how his dad affected her.
That's why she's so eager on pilot protection. Wait, what happened?
You don't know?
He falters.
You should probably talk to Yuna.
Oh, sure. An uncomfortable silence settles while we both sip at our drinks, and once he downs the last of his coffee, he checks his phone and smiles politely.
I have to run to another meeting. Thanks again for stopping in to chat with me, and I'm sure we'll see each other soon.
Thanks. It was nice to meet you. I say my goodbye and take another sip of my drink as I watch him leave. What happened to Yuna's brother? How come she never mentioned him to me? Of Questions raced through my mind, but I cleared them away as I finished my drink. He's dead. We knew that there was a pilot who was killed at Ace Academy previously. Tragic accident. So it's pretty clear that was Yuna's brother. I still maintain she's probably loaded, but I shouldn't drive myself crazy thinking about questions I don't have answers to. Next time I see Yuna, I'll ask. In the meantime, I still have some time before I should go home. What should I do to clear my mind? I'm sorry. I can't stop laughing whenever it does that. I dialed Yuna's number.
Hello?
Hi, Yuna. What are you up to this evening?
I'm in the small auditorium in the drama center.
Oh, is there a play?
Not quite. I'm attending a class run by the improv club. You should come.
Yeah, alright. That sounds like fun. I'll be right there.
Great. See you soon.
I've done improv. It's always interesting. As soon as we hang up the phone, I head to the drama centre. When I arrive, I spot Yuna sitting towards the right of the room. And as I head over, I run into someone. Oh, sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Wait a minute. Hey, I know you. Aren't you the instructor for the cooking club? You teach improv too? He laughs.
No, that's my twin brother.
Oh, I see.
Anyway, have a seat. We are about to get started.
He allows them to use the same voice actor. He marches to the front of the room while I sit beside Yuna, and she smiles in acknowledgement. The auditorium has about 30 people, although I've never considered improv before. I suppose there's something about a lot of people that are interested in.
Welcome to Improv! For those of us new to this group, improv is live acting. Everything is made up in the moment. Plot, character, dialogue, everything. Every performance is unique and cannot be recreated in exactly the same way. Okay, everyone partner up. We're going to have each team perform a skit.
Yuna and I nod at each other.
It doesn't matter if you're a newbie to improv or a veteran. The most important thing to remember is to go with the flow. Your partner might throw something completely wild at you, but that's okay. That's what makes improv fun. You'll have a choice of scenarios on stage for each pair to choose from. Once the scene has been set, then the only rule is to do whatever comes to mind. So, any volunteers?
Me! Or not. I raise my hand. We volunteer as tribute. Yuna's startled, but doesn't object.
Wonderful! Come on up then.
Are you ready? She seems nervous, but nods.
As ready as I'll ever be, I guess.
Together we head on stage.
You'll find the scenario options on the table over there. Once you've decided, read the scenario out loud for the rest of the class.
No. Improv's much more fun if you get a random one. We walk over to the table in the corner of the stage.
Which one do you want to do?
I read the descriptions. You're at the beach, but you're gender swapped. Okay. Gender swap beach scene. So I have to play a girl and you have to play a guy.
Yep.
That'd be fun playing Yuna. Let's do this one. She raises her eyebrow, but doesn't disagree.
If you like.
After we select our description, I read it out loud for the class, and the instructor gives us the signal to begin. Yuna squares her shoulders and swaggers exaggeratedly onto the stage.
I love the beach and doing manly things like, swimming. Too bad my friend isn't here with me so we can swim together.
Yuna looks pointedly in my direction, indicating me to join her in our skit. I pretend to be shy and pitch my voice high. Just a minute! There's a prop bin in the corner of the stage and I rummage through the bin, hoping to find something to use. Aha! I grab 2 balloons and stuff them underneath my blazer, and a chorus of laughter reverberates in the room, but Yuna's face is one of chagrin. Sorry I'm late, I was getting ready. Yuna gets back into character, but instead of talking she just stares very obviously at my balloons.
That's not what I look like. Is it?
I cover my chest with an arm. Oh, stop being a pervert! Yuna pretends to balk.
No, that's not it. I was just admiring your swimsuit.
I pout and continue to cover my chest.
Anyway, why don't we go swimming?
I suppose we can if we want.
Race you there.
She runs across the stage and mimes diving into the ocean. I follow slowly behind her and pretend to wade carefully into the shallow water. Stop recreating what actually happened! Oh no! As soon as I touched the water, my top fell off. I held the balloons close to my chest, but let the blazer fall to the ground, mimicking losing a bikini top. And Yuna's mouth drops open in shock. I turn my back to Yuna, but not before I see her bright red cheeks. Don't look at me! I peek out of the corner of my eyes, and her shocked expression suddenly melts into a cheeky smile.
Oh no! For some inexplicable reason, my nose has started bleeding!
Hey! That's not what happened. Yuna grins, but this time it's my cheeks which turn red. The audience hasn't stopped laughing since my balloon incident, and I didn't even notice my breaking character. The student professor claps his hands.
Great job, you two. Have either of you done improv before?
We shake our heads.
You're a natural.
Really?
Yes, that was hilarious. You two have great chemistry together. You make an awesome team.
I think hilarious might be overstating it.
Thank you!
Yeah, thanks. Yuna glows with excitement as we return to our
We
seats.
rocked it! Thanks for coming and joining me.
No problem. It's a lot more fun than I expected it to be.
All right, I swapped out the scenarios on the table so we don't get any repeats. So who's next?
Yuna and I watch the other teams perform their skits to the amusement of us all, and by the time everyone's finished, my sides hurt from laughing so hard. As I enter the house, I hear soft giggles coming from the living room. A tuft of blonde hair peeks over the couch. Another wave of giggles floats from the couch, but cease abruptly as I step closer. Nikki hangs up the phone and turns around to greet me.
Hi, big bro.
I plop down next to her. Who was that guy? Her eyes grow wide.
How did you know it was a guy?
Well, you just told me. I didn't. But I do now. She pouts.
That's tricky.
So who was it?
No one.
Doesn't sound like no one.
He's just a classmate.
I reach around and grab Nikki's phone while she's distracted.
No, give it back!
She screams in my ear and leaps over me, reaching towards her phone. I fend her off and keep the phone away from her grasping hands as she continues to struggle. I worm my way off the couch, flip through her call list before she can scramble to her feet. Last dialed number is to a Ken. What kind of weird Japanese name is Ken? Nikki snatches the phone right as I speak, and pummels my chest with her
Oh
fists.
my god, you are such a jerk!
Is he even a real person?
Of course he is!
But his name is Ken.
You're the worst!
She hits me hard one last time before turning on her heel and storming upstairs. And when she's halfway to the top, she pauses.
And by the way, Ken means strong in Japanese.
Nikki storms into her room and slams the door. Oh, yeah. Oops. Still, Ken. I hear laughter. Is that me? Did I just laugh out loud? Kaido is leaning against the doorway behind me, a broad smile on his face. I jump when I see him. First Akira, now Kaido. How is everyone always sneaking up on me?
That's good. Ken is a funny name. It's like... Yen!
He continues to laugh at his joke, and then gradually calms down.
Why does your face look like that?
Like what? I always look like this.
No, like this.
He mimics a look of cringing and disbelief. I don't... What? Oh, I should go do my homework.
Good idea. Get smart.
I slowly head towards the stairs, still unsure about what just happened. As I walk up the steps, I can still hear faint chuckles from Kaido, and the echoes of Ken Yen. Since I was already in my room, I caught up on studying until it was time for sleep. I wake up energized and throw off the blankets. Today's our match against Onobagasha, and I'm looking forward to it. I rush through my morning routine, thinking of strategies in my head, and then try to refocus as I finish my breakfast. I still have a class to attend before my match. I grab my bag and hop on my bike. There's an unexpectedly heavy amount of traffic this morning, and I rush into class right on time. That was a little too close for comfort. As I settle to my seat, the professor clears his throat, beginning the lesson.
Good morning, class. For today's lesson, we will discuss the differences between energy and kinetic weapons.
Sounds interesting.
Let's first review the two defensive mechanisms of a gear, the shield and hull.
Okay, apparently he's not saying this line. The hull is the physical gear.
The shield is a virtually invisible barrier generated by using the core's energy. The strength of the shield varies greatly depending on the core, shield generator, and power allocation settings. Energy and kinetic weapons are meant to target opposite defenses. Energy-based arsenals are effective against shields as they quickly drain shield energy, but because of that, they are weak at penetrating the hull. Alternatively, kinetic weaponry is designed to puncture the armor, but they are weak against shields as the kinetic energy gets dispersed over a large surface area, the entire shield. For the purpose of war games and recreational use, only energy weapons are permitted. A gear is considered destroyed when it is depowered. Of course, outside of recreational combat, this rule does not apply.
A student raises his hand.
What about hybrid weapons?
Ah, yes. Hybrid weapons are able to equally damage both the shield and hull. However, their damage strength is not as effective as a singular purpose weapon.
Makes sense. The student nods in acknowledgement.
Please turn to page 233 and let's take a look at the different types of energy weapons.
I flip to the page the professor mentioned and continue listening to the lesson.
That's all for today. Please make sure you have all completed your WebLink assignments for next class.
I pack my things and head towards the hangar to meet up with my team. Our match is scheduled earlier than usual, and we need to rethink our strategy. The plans we discussed had all revolved around our match against Strike X, but now that they've been disqualified, we'll have to come up with new ones against our new opponent. I enter the hangar and look for Aura. When I arrive, everyone's already there, and Cho waves.
Broseph?
Hey.
Hi.
Carrie greets me with a nod.
Good. We're all here. Let's head to the pre-combat room and start planning out strategies.
Hey.
We collectively turn at the sound of May's voice. She waves and beams at us as she runs closer.
What are you doing here, May?
Carrie sounds less than amused.
I wanted to wish you all good luck. I'm so excited for our match.
Me too.
Mayu smiles and nods. Let's give it our best. Good luck to you guys too. We won't hold back. Mai smiles.
We won't either.
I know. I am incredibly inconsistent about whether or not I say Mai or May. As quickly as she arrived, she's gone in a flash.
She's so nice. I'm totally feeding off of her enthusiasm. I'm getting a better vibe off of this match too than the one off of Strike X.
No!
Sho blinks at Carrie's outburst.
No?
She's just putting on an act. She was trying to psych us out. Don't fall for it.
I don't think that was her
Yeah,
goal.
it's a bit paranoid.
You guys don't know her like I do. You can't trust her. Especially when she's acting all friendly like that.
Carrie's been acting strange. More so than usual when Mai is involved.
Anyways, let's go strategize while we have some time.
She doesn't wait for us to answer and begins power walking towards the pre-combat rooms.
Hey, wait for us!
We jog to catch up and follow her. After a quick change into our pilot suits, we meet at the holodesk. Carrie sets up the match, and a few minutes later the holodesk projects the arena and the gears involved in the fight.
Alright, so what's the deal?
Onna Bugiesha is a melee-only team. It will be important to pay attention to our positioning and maintain a safe distance.
We've had close combat teams in the past. Claw of the Wild comes to mind from a few weeks ago. Mayu's focused on the holodesk and takes a serious tone.
Claw of the Wild was a melee-centric team, but their gears were knitted to perform a hybrid role. Based on Onna Bugesha's data, their gears are all custom-tailored for high bursts of speed and close combat engagements. We would benefit greatly from keeping a distance. If we play defensively, it will force them to chase us, and we can wear them down before going on the offense.
Makes sense.
What do you think, Broseph?
Agreed. Range is key. If they have no ranged weaponry, we should be able to do as much damage from afar as we can. Whittling them down before fully engaging will give us an advantage.
Sounds good to me.
Mayu and Carrie both nod. Okay, we can all go range, but Aura can't. The team looks at Carrie.
I'll engage May head-on and keep her out of the fight.
That kinda goes against the plan. To my surprise, Carrie grits her teeth and bites back a retort, and she studies the holodesk for a little too long, and then sighs.
I guess I don't have much of a choice. I'll hang back with you guys and intercept if one of the enemy gears manages to break through.
Mayu nods.
I think that would be best.
Okay, let's recap. We'll play it from a distance and keep baiting their team. Since Mayu is our best shot, we'll keep her well protected and follow her lead.
Carrie looks right at me. She finally looks more focused than I've seen her all week.
You and Sho can play aggressively if we take the lead. I will intercept whoever reaches Mayu, if they even manage to. Got it?
We all nod. The tension is palpable. Even though Carrie's always serious, her tone is more aggressive than usual. So yes, I take it, she's melee only, she's ranged only, and Sho and I are both, either or.
We have a rare opportunity to really boost our MMR, and we can't throw this chance away. There's absolutely no way we can lose to Mei.
That almost sounded like a threat. I nod a little uneasily and glance at Xiao and Mayu, whose faces mirror my thoughts. Carrie turns back to the holodesk and uploads our plans as we wait in silence. A loud beep announces the match, and I mutter under my breath. Saved by the beep. Xiao and Mayu seem equally relieved.
Just make sure you guys stay focused.
Of course.
Xiao forces enthusiasm into his voice, attempting to raise our morale. Carrie ignores him and Sho deflates.
Let's go.
We enter the arena from one side, while Onabagashi enters from the other.
Welcome, everyone! Are you all ready for another fantastic match?
The crowd erupts into a loud cheer.
Good, because we have an amazing one lined up for you. Ona Bugeisha versus 8, 20, 49, 11!
Yeah, we need an actual sodding team name. I still want to know why the mechs have boobs. Everyone's comms are open as we await the sound off. Mai's team gets into position and waits with relaxed confidence. As we also get into formation, the tension I felt before intensifies. This no longer feels as friendly of a match as I thought it would be. As the sound of horn blares, Mai's team dashes straight towards us. The faint shimmer surrounding the gears reveals a hefty frontal shield.
On it!
Mayu raises a gun and takes aim while the three of us position to protect her. A heavy round flies into one of the gears in the distance. Although the shot connects, it disperses into a hexagon of shimmers.
What?
They're shields! They're tailored to deal with rail rounds. I need the shield to be weakened so that my shot can penetrate and force an immediate to power.
Affirmative. I'll stay back and protect. You two go aggressive and focus on knocking out their shield.
Let's go!
Roger that. Switching to EMP rounds now.
Sho and I boost forward, spraying a hail of energy rounds. The enemy team takes evasive maneuvers, and Mai breaks away while the other three continue racing towards Mayu. The closest enemy gear takes the brunt of the damage and its front barrier drops, and Mayu takes advantage of the vulnerability and aims a shot at the gear, instantly depowering
Nice! One down!
I have two of them approaching me. Howdy? Howdy!
it. Oh god damn it! Aura has already left her position and sprints towards Mai.
What are you doing? You have to protect Mayu!
Yeah, I figured that was gonna happen.
I am! I'm taking out Mei so she can't attack!
That wasn't the plan!
You two cover her!
We're not in position to!
She's already
engaged! Let's go!
Sorry, I assumed that was gonna be my line. Xiao and I boost back to Mayu, but it's too late.
Been depowered.
Her voice is lethally calm. Oh, this can't be good. Two enemy gears shift to Sho and I.
2 on 2, but not much distance. Play this out carefully.
For once, Sho is serious. The gears split their focus, and one of them charges towards me while the other boosts towards Sho. I boost away and take aim. My aim is true, and the blast of energy rounds collides with her gear. She stumbles back from the hit while I create more distance between us. Before she could strike again, I move away to create even more distance between us. And I raise my gun for another shot. And she tries to dodge but is too slow, and my shots pellet her shield. She's pushed back from the force of the blow, but once she gets her bearing, she boosts right back towards me. As she approaches, I boost away from her and weave around the arena, forcing her to chase me. I steady my aim. And she's too slow to dodge, and my shot strikes through right through her shield. Her gear can't support the hit and she's depowered. I look over at Sho just in time to see an enemy gear strike. Watch out! I boost closer and shoot again. The rounds connect with the gear just as her attack connects with Sho. Sho blocks just a second too late and he's depowered, but because she wasn't expecting my attack, she left herself vulnerable and is also depowered. Mai is the only remaining enemy gear.
One more gear in the match is ours.
On it! I boost towards Kairi and Mai, who are locked in a duel. Aura manages to strike with vigor, but it's parried, and Mai retaliates with a wide swing which Kairi barely manages to block. I'm here!
Don't interfere!
Huh?
What?
What do you mean, don't interfere?
Let me handle this!
Howdy! This isn't a simulation. It's a real match.
Yeah, what you're saying...
Mei is going down in a one-on-one. She won't have any excuses this way!
This is a team match. You can't put a win in jeopardy because you want to make this personal.
Don't interfere. You gotta trust your team sometimes. I cut Eagle's engines.
What are you doing?
Mai notices my engine is off and she lunges towards Eagle. Oh, I'm defending against it. Eagle bursts into action.
What are you doing?
I am not gonna just sit here and let her take me out. Anticipating a swing, I sidestep using my thrusters and counterattack with my own blade. With no shield activated on her back arc, my swing completely depowers her gear.
Nice one.
Sho's the only one to speak.
Nice.
Mayu and Kairi are both silent, and Aura sheathes her blade and exit the arena.
8, 20, 49, 11 are the winners!
Here's the thing, there's a difference between being willing to let her try and take her one-on-one and standing there and letting myself get killed. The crowd roars to life, but their excitement doesn't penetrate the friction clouding our team.
I hate to rush our competing teams, but we have another match in just a few minutes. Please clear the arena.
Mai's team heads back to their pre-combat room as we head to ours. When we enter the pre-combat room, Kairi's nowhere to be found. She must have already been changing. Sho and I go to change, but Mayu stays back. She must be really upset if she's actively avoiding Kairi.
Man, I'm not liking the vibe right now. Not that I'm blaming you or anything. I mean, you did hang back, but Mei charged at you.
Yeah. I exhale. It's in the past now. Sho and I finish changing and head back to the pre-combat room. As soon as we enter, Kairi stomps up to me. Mayu's nowhere to be found.
Why did you do that?
Do what?
You engaged Mei.
No, Mei engaged me.
Yes, and you fought back.
You expected me to just sit there and give her a free kill? She opens her mouth to retort, but pauses.
You don't understand.
How could he? You aren't making any sense at all.
Kairi tenses and glares at Sho.
I don't have to explain myself to you.
No, Kaori.
We turn around to see Mayu. Her jaw is set, her eyes are hard, and I've never seen her this upset before. It's chilling. Kairi's eyes widen.
Mayu?
You put your personal agenda above the team and risked the match. Our positioning was compromised, and I had no support. Those two were out of position because of an aggressive call that you made. That ended up costing us 2 depowered gears, one of which was avoidable. So no, you do owe us an explanation.
Her voice is calm, but severe, and Mayu's ice is a lot more unnerving than any of Kairi's fiery outbursts. This is getting out of control. Let's all take a deep breath and calm down. They ignore me and continue to glare at each other. Kairi looks between the three of us and then sighs.
I get it. I made a mistake. But I can't be expected to always make the perfect calls.
We don't expect that from you either. But when you start throwing the blame around...
I'm sorry, okay?
That didn't sound very sincere.
It would help if you meant it.
Kairi clenches her hands into fists.
I said I'm sorry! I messed up. It was my fault. Blame me. What else do you want?
Let's drop it. Look, she already said sorry. Sho crosses his arms but nods. At least Mayu seems to have returned to her normal demeanour.
Okay.
We usually celebrate as a team after a win, but I get the feeling that would happen this time. After picking up our stuff, we exit the pre-combat room. Well, that seems like an excellent, if slightly awkward, point to end this part, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next.